Hey guys, welcome to the Perfectly Wasted Podcast. I'm your host, DullOxide. Today is episode 15 about life hacks. And you can find all the previous episodes on the Drinking Wisemen YouTube channel, as well as my bi-weekly podcast, Brew the Truth. You can find all my life photos and other photos on my Instagram at DullOxide. And today we're going to go ahead and talk about some life hacks. So this isn't going to be like top 100 or top 10 or top 50. It's going to be like how most life hacks are completely fucking useless. And a couple of life hacks that I've tried that either work really well or actually don't work at all, and how most of them aren't even practical. So let's go ahead and we'll start with one that I have tried that I don't think works at all. So there's the wet a paper towel, wrap it around your beverage and put it in the freezer, and it's going to get your drink ice cold within 15 minutes. Yeah, that's complete bullshit. So there's no reason that this would work much better than just putting it inside of the freezer by itself, except for that you have a cool towel that's freezing on the outside. So maybe it does cool it down slightly faster, but I found on the majority of the occasions that I've done this, you have to have it in there at least a half hour before it even gets cold enough that you're going to drink it. So I feel like this is kind of like a completely useless tip. It's wrong on the aspect of time, and on the other side of it, it also doesn't say anything about, if it's a can or a bottle. But as I said, in the majority of cases, this is false. So not really practical, not really useful. I was able to get a cold drink after about a half hour, but, might as well just kind of throw it in the fridge and wait. So, and even then, if you just throw it inside of the freezer, if it's a pop or, a beer, it's going to get cooled in an hour and more than likely won't explode. So kind of useless. Don't really understand it. Then there's people that want to have just, a little bit more organization. So they've got this nice little box and they've got these toilet paper rolls holding their wires inside of it. I'm not really understanding why you wouldn't just have a wire organizer, or why you wouldn't just, zip tie or tie your wires and put them in one spot. Like, the toilet paper rolls might work for some people, but honestly, most of my cords are too big to fit inside of toilet paper rolls, for one. And for two, that's like the first time I'd ever have to tell anyone, like, oh yeah, hey, go over to this box and you'll find this cord. They're looking in it and they see a bunch of toilet paper rolls. I just feel like that's kind of a weird thing. So I'm not really on board with that. Like, I get the frugalness and like trying to save a dime to organize a little bit better, but like, what are the chances that you're going to find a box that's going to perfectly fit toilet paper rolls, like the box that they've shown in the picture here, for one? And for another, like I said, the majority of my wires aren't going to fit inside of a roll. So this is basically a completely useless tip to me. And, maybe it's helped you or someone that you know. Sure, that's a possibility. Let me know. I'd love to know if it's actually helped anyone. All right, one that I've actually used. So stacking your clothes vertically so you can see them all. I actually do this. I have quite a few different, graphical t-shirts and things like that, and it does actually help. Now, you have to fold the shirts in a method in which you can actually see the design, but that's not a big deal. So you fold your shirt in a way that you see the design, and then you can organize it vertically so that you can see all of your designs and know exactly what you're wearing. It's actually really cool. I don't know if I heard about it through a life hack or if I thought it up just by putting clothes away one day, but we'll just say, for sake of argument, that I saw it somewhere through some life hack somehow, and that I started using it, and it actually works. It's actually useful. And I'd suggest this to anyone that has a lot of graphical shirts, because it's actually pretty cool. I don't think it necessarily saves you any time, and I definitely don't think it would be considered hacking, but that's another thing. So life hacks, the term itself, actually has come into being in the last couple of years, and it's supposed to be a way to like save you time and to be able to, do a little trick or something to that effect. Now, if you kind of like think about it as hacking, like I have no idea why they added hacks to it, because like if you've ever anyone that has actually ever done any type of hacking or cracking or brute forcing or anything on a computer can tell you that it is not like something that is to make it easier. It is an alternative method that is harder in the majority of cases. Now, there's social engineering, which people, I guess, consider a type of hacking, but that's different. Like, you're still kind of coercing your way through something, you know? So I don't really understand the term itself, life hacks. It just doesn't really make sense to me. But since it's been defined in the majority of dictionaries now as essentially a way to make day-to-day life easier, I guess we're going with it. Now, unscented dental floss to cut cakes, cheeses, and other soft objects perfectly, basically. And you can see it does a wonderful job making it look really, really pretty. Have not done this, okay? I have friends that swear by it, and I can understand why, because if you just look at that cake, the cut on that cake is beautiful. It did not ruin it. You're not having the blade go in and out of it. You know, most people don't know how to cut a cake in the first place. But the fact that they're using dental floss to do it and it gets such a nice clean cut, it really is something that's cool. If I ever had the opportunity, I might. I don't eat a lot of cake, and I don't have a lot of different soft foods that I can cut with floss, but I'd say this one's probably worth a try if you have some, you know, unscented or unflavored floss to give it a go. You know, let me know how it turns out. So, keeping your zipper up with a keychain loop. Buy pants that are the right size. Buy pants that are the right cut to fit your body. There's so many different things that you can do to avoid this. I've never had my zipper go down automatically because I'm just wearing pants. Now, I understand this is more of like a skinny type jean situation where your zipper might go down just because your pants kind of bow out a little bit and it starts to open the zipper. All right. I get that. It happens to people. Sure, this is a solution. The other solution is buy clothes that fit. So I kind of don't get that one. I feel like it's not super useful, but you know, I can understand why people would use it. All right. Now these kind of life hacks always make me smile. All right. Pool noodles. All right. People have tons of hacks about this. This crazy Russian hacker that does all the fucking pool noodle shit. He is hilarious. Okay. And a lot of the stuff that he does is somewhat practical, but most of it's really ridiculous. So, you know, keeping tall boots upright with pool noodles. Don't know anyone that's ever done it. Don't own any tall boots. Girlfriend owns tall boots. Don't use pool noodles to keep them up. So, not really understanding why you need this over anything else. But hey, maybe it's helped somebody. If it's helped you, you know, let me know. I'd love to know if you've used pool noodles on any of these types of hacks that people talk about, because most of them just make it seem like it's really inconvenient. You know, putting them around doors to make sure that people don't like run into the corners and stuff, and, you know, putting them on the side of your garage to make sure your car doesn't bump the wall, I guess, but maybe, you know, don't swing your door open so wide and you won't have that problem. Now, this one is, this guy's put his gas cap in the handle for pumping gas so that he can have hands-free pumping. Yeah, this is not genius at all. There's actually a tab. You could see the tab. It's literally on the handle that does hands-free pumping for you. The only thing that you're doing with this is possibly overflowing your tank and just causing a huge mess. It's just really not smart at all. So I'm not sure where people come up with stuff like this, but I mean, come on, people. Just please don't. All right, another one that a lot of people have seen is the cupcake hack. This isn't a hack. It's just an ulterior method of which to eat a cupcake. You know, ripping the top off of a cupcake, flipping it upside down, and putting it on the bottom half, that's just making it a cream sandwich. You could just buy cream puffs. Like, literally, they make these. You don't have to do this to these cupcakes. So, again, don't feel like it's a life hack, but, you know, other people seem to like it. So I guess why not? And lastly, the Good Sandwich Guide. So this is a guide on how to get meat coverage over the majority of your sandwich rather than all in the center. So you cut the meat pieces and make them thin. This seems like a complete waste of time. Now, I mean, sure, I guess if you're like one of those people that has to have the perfect meat to bread ratio, then it might work out for you. But honestly, you're eating a sandwich. Like, if you don't know how to make a sandwich properly to your liking, slicing up all of the pieces so that they cover every piece of bread seems just a little ridiculous. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the majority of the life hacks that are out there are completely fucking useless, and most of them are very impractical, and I just kind of am wondering if anyone else has found that the majority of them are good for them, or what kinds that you've used. So, please let me know. Go ahead, comment and tell me if you've used any specific hack, any of the ones that are inside of this video and podcast. I'd love to know, because as I said, I've used 2 of them, and one has failed. The other has been great, but at the same time, it's just like most of them are shit. So please do comment, like, subscribe, and thanks again for watching. That was 10 minutes perfectly wasted.